Hello and welcome back to Absolute BSS, the Casualpetitive look at Bandai Namco's Battle Spirit Saga card game. I'm one of your hosts, Cameron.
And I'm the other host, Eric.
And we are here to talk about the rest of the spoiled cards, the magic cards, the Gundam cards, and then we'll be out of spoiler season and we can start updating a little more regularly. I would like to apologize. So in the episode previous to this, you heard me apologize for not uploading that episode because I was sick. Well, then I thought I uploaded that episode and I didn't. So there was a big gap. I'm really, really sorry. We're back. This is an extra. You get both. You got both on the same day. Hello.
We've been back. They just didn't know.
Right. We've been here talking our little hearts out about cards. And
we're also recording this episode kind of early in the morning, so
early for me for sure, but also early on a Sunday.
Early for two people who were up late last night playing video games for sure.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. But yeah, we're gonna get into some more Battle Spirits again. Sorry for the wait, for the delay. To the faithful of you who do give us those sweet Spotify analytics and YouTube clicks, we appreciate you truly. I'm sorry that it took so long.
To the unfaithful, you know what? Screw you.
Yeah, screw you, unfaithful. How dare you?
I'm just kidding. We need you. Come back.
Yeah, we need you, please. It's like a toxic relationship. I've been watching Vanderpump Rules with my wife, and anyway, we're not getting into that. So
this podcast has gone off the rails
already. Yeah, sorry. We might be a little silly today, but hey, we played. Before we get into the BSS talk, we're gonna take a couple minutes to talk about something else real quick. Something that I'm sure a lot of you might also be interested in. And if not, you can skip ahead. We played Shadowverse last night.
Shadowverse is fun.
We played in a store tournament. I played Abysscraft. Eric played Swordcraft. There were 10 people there, I think. And the split was pretty interesting. I think there were 3 Swordcrafts, 4 Abysscrafts, 2 Dragoncrafts, and a Forestcraft. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, a lot more Abysscraft than I thought. I thought it'd be a field of Dragoncraft.
Yeah, tons more Abysscraft. I was struggling to decide what I wanted to play. I had a fun Forestcraft build, and that's what I started with. But I also had some good pulls in Abyss, and I was like, I want to try this. I wasn't like committing to aggro or control, but like had a little bit of everything. And I just really like the mechanic. I've played the digital game, so it's kind of that blend of Shadow and Bloodcraft from the digital version. And so I was like, I think I'll just play Abysscraft because I think it's fun, and I don't think anyone will play it. So round 1, I sit down across from other pink sleeves, and the guy was like, I brought Abysscraft because I didn't think anyone would bring it. And I was like, me too. And there was 4 of us running Abyss. But it was really, really fun. Do you want to talk a little bit about your experience, Eric, and like how? Because we were talking a little bit after the tournament last night. It's so fun getting into a new game and spending a lot of time. Like, you can throw some casual games around with starter decks with friends, but when you start constructing and you go to an event like that, everything kind of changes, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
the importance of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot. I'm not really going to get super into this game. I like that there are like 6 different factions essentially, and you can just kind of pick one.
Yeah.
So there's like 2 or 3 maybe that are interesting to me, so I'm just going to pursue those and just build decks around those. I bought a few packs, and now I think from here on out I might buy like a single pack every now and then, or maybe buy some singles. But I have most everything I need, I think, to build some pretty competitive decks. So, yeah, the cool thing about this game that is my favorite part is that the rounds are like 25 minutes, 30 minutes at most. And I don't know about you, but most of my games were done before the 30-minute round timer.
Oh, mine definitely were.
I saw you at a game that went for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, round 4, I was playing against Dragoncraft. Very big ramp. My opponent bricked. He's like, I could mulligan, but I'm gonna go on hopium. And I think I won on like turn 5, less than 5 minutes, because he just couldn't get anything down. I was able to go wide and just took him out really, really quickly.
Yeah, I think I was dropping like my first 4 drop of the game, and I heard you over there like GG, and I was like, what just happened?
It was nuts, man. We played a second game, and it was a lot closer.
Yeah.
And he ended up destroying me with dragons. Like, I couldn't keep up. And that's easily how it could go. But he's like, man, yeah, I just bricked, and I was lucky.
Well, most of my games ended up with me losing, which is fine because, like we talked about last night, I feel like I learned a lot. Like I saw, I did beat Forest Craft, but I did see how you're supposed to play that deck. Because when I played the starter deck, I was definitely playing it wrong. And then I saw a really good Swordcraft player. I was playing Swordcraft, and I learned so much about the Swordcraft play style just from getting my ass handed to me. And then the other 2 games I played against Abysscraft, and actually the last one was Runecraft. I don't know if we talked about, there was one Runecraft.
Oh, that's right.
player.
There was one Runecraft. So I think it was 2 Swordcraft, you and the other guy.
Yeah, maybe that was it. But yeah, and I learned a lot about, he dimensional shifted me, so he took extra turns, and that made me realize that Runecraft is really cool, but I don't think I want to play it because it kind of is not very interactive. He just kept killing my stuff and then dimensional shifted me.
Yep.
But anyways, I learned a lot about the game. I really enjoyed it. I like that we started at 5 and we were done by like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, like really, we were signing up at 5. Tournament probably started at 5:30. Final round was probably done like 7:45. Like, it was quick.
It was super fast, and I really like that because, like I said, I don't think it's going to be my main game, so I could totally see us going on a Saturday, playing Battle Spirits, and then also playing this either before or after, and just having a blast.
Yeah.
Like you've mentioned this a few times, but the game does not take much to play, so.
No, yeah, it's amazing. 4 rounds of a game, home at a reasonable time, and yeah, I wasn't like fatigued, like, so that's a big plus. Those rounds are quick. The game is just really fast and fun, so like even when you lose, it doesn't feel that bad. It literally feels like you're playing a mobile game, and you're like, okay, shuffle, let's go, next one.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It was fun. I lost to Abysscraft, so I won my first mirror match. Round 2, lost the mirror match. My opponent leaned heavy into control Abysscraft, which is really, really fun. Those bats, baby. Forest bats getting ward, getting drained. Really, really fun.
That dude beat me too. So
yeah, he won the whole thing.
That.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
So
I didn't feel as bad. It never feels as bad to lose if the person you lost to wins the whole thing. So.
Exactly. So since he won, I ended up placing second overall. I got 4 packs. I got a promo card and like a little cardboard standee of Arissa, the Forest Craft lady. So listen to my voice. We're all like early. It's like, good morning. Welcome to Absolute BSS.
Good morning. Welcome to the podcast.
Good Lord. But yeah, it was fun. It was a really good time. Thanks for coming with me, Eric. And
yeah, I'm always down to try new card games.
Yeah, and that same store 2 weeks from now, at the time of this recording, we're going back to play some Battle Spirit Saga. And
I have
we're
some bad
here.
news about that, actually. Cam.
Oh no!
I'm gonna be out of town, so I can't go.
Okay.
But
well,
you can go.
I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna represent, and I'm gonna play some Yellow Fabled Beasts because I think everyone there is gonna play purple or white, and I'm gonna have fun.
Hell yeah!
I'll represent. I'll wear the shirts, and we'll dominate.
You're gonna wear both of our shirts.
Both of our yes. I'm gonna wear your shirt, my shirt, someone else's shirt, 3 shirts. That's my luck. Like how everyone has their superstition and their luck.
What if you wore every single shirt represented one of your life cores?
Whoa!
And you
strip spirits. We were joking about Battleshot Saga.
Oh, Battleshot Saga is definitely a thing, but you don't want to play Blessed.
Or you do.
Well, you're gonna have to. Well, I think you have to take the shots and then refill them. So,
Yeah. Here's the thing. If we get to what's a goal, Eric? What's a number in your mind that if we reach it, you and I will stream a Battle Shot Saga game where we both play blast decks?
are we talking about like subscribers on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
I think pretty low. Like still,
Yeah.
I still want it to be a goal, but I think low. Like maybe like 100.
Yeah, how about at 100 YouTube subscribers? Tell your friends. Everyone on Spotify listening to us right now, just go over to the YouTube and subscribe. When we hit 100, we'll do Battle Shot Saga.
Yeah, we say that now, but I mean 5 shots in like
At least.
in like a 30 to 45 minute range of time. It's
Dude.
a lot.
That would be so fun, though. My wife and I have played Keyforge, where when you forge a key, your opponent has to take a shot, and that's really, really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
It
So
is
that's
great.
only 3 shots, but also Keyforge is a bit of a faster game, so that
Right.
could be worse.
So you play multiple games. Like, we usually play like a set of 3, and then by the
think
end of
if-
it, whoo!
I think if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna have to construct a deck specifically for Battle Shot Saga.
Yeah, and that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to figure out like, oh man, unblockable. Like if I play the Joker or whatever,
Yep.
oh you're done for.
Oh, I know. That could be fun. So yeah, 100 subscribers, we'll do battle shots there. So let's get into this. We're gonna talk about the magic cards that have been spoiled for all the colors. And actually, Eric, if you would love to, for us, you want to talk about the Gundams?
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
see if there's a good way to pull all these up. I don't think there is. That's all right.
Yeah, I was looking for a way too.
So, I think. All right. Here's the thing about the Gundams.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start off by saying this. In the past, when I've talked about the Gundams, I've been like, oh, I'm getting ready for Gundams, so I'm building like a mecha deck, and I'm going to be so prepped for Gundams because I have this mecha build I'm working on, and I can just slot them in. Turns out, I don't think we got any mecha Gundams. I
Yeah.
think they are all. So they did a weird thing, but it kind of makes sense in retrospect. They made all of the Void Lords have Gundam alts,
Yes.
which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Like, at first I was like, I don't know about this, but you and I have talked about this. There's a couple ways to build an all Void Lord deck that we were
That's
kind of
true.
we were kind of joking about just for the memes, but I think I'm gonna do it for real just because that's how you play all the Gundams. you know?
Yes, I think that'd be so fun.
And interestingly, I almost feel like Bandai wants you to do what we were talking about because there's 2 Gundams in yellow, which is also where King Charles sits.
That's
is
right.
in yellow. So
You heard it here first on Absolute BSS. That was my idea.
And I'm gonna steal it because I want to play all Gundams.
Yeah,
But
I think that would be so cool. There's definitely a way to ramp up to a rainbow-colored Gundam deck with King Charles at the center of it all. I really, really believe that. And I told you that I'm definitely going to be slotting in the Unicorn Gundam Awakened as tech in my green-purple deck because people are going to be excited about the Gundams. People might be running Void Lords. Either way, it's a really decent card. For those that don't remember, this is Eternal Phoenix Tokuwa, the 7-cost green Prey Bird Spirit. Can be reduced by 4. So the Gundam collab is that it's Unicorn Gundam Awakened, and this is that card that at all 3 levels it gains 10,000 BP if your opponent controls a Void Lord Spirit. So it's like, I'm going to fight back against the other Gundam. And otherwise, it's got really decent stats.
I didn't even think about that thematically. That's so cool.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, like you, me, and Angel were kind of like trying to figure out where that last Gundam collab was going to be. And we all kind of decided, like, it's got to be that one anti-Void Lord card, right? And so it's just a good card. The stats are great. It does the exhausting things. You can refresh it by putting cores into your reserve, which is good for green. So I'm definitely excited to get Unicorn Gundam Awakened, and that way I can still have my big green mean machine in a deck.
Yeah. I like I was saying earlier, I think my expectations were just totally off. I was kind of hoping they'd all be like in the same color palette so that I could like just
Yeah.
pretty easily build a Gundam deck, but it's gonna take some work.
Maybe we'll
But
get like a supplemental set of Gundam collabs in the future.
I would love that. I would love if they just released like I don't know, some sort of new product that's like a starter deck, but not quite, but it's like a pre-built deck of just like alt arts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I would die for that.
That'd be
I would
so cool.
if it's like all Gundam alt arts for like a white mecha deck or something, like oh
Yeah.
man, that would be so cool.
The idea behind this collab is very, very neat also. And like finally getting to see the cards and seeing how it works. Like, they're just alternate skins of existing cards in the set, but like with a new name and like really flashy art. Like,
Yeah.
so cool.
We've seen the art, but we have not seen the foiling, and I bet the foiling looks really nice.
Yeah. I'm just so impressed by the art in this game. It's just so fun. I'm really excited for the Gundam.
So the green one, Unicorn Gundam Awakened, that's the one you're most excited for?
Easily. What about you?
I think Wing Gundam, just because I love Wing Gundam.
Yeah. That's also, I think, the top tier art of these Gundam.
Oh
cards.
yeah, he looks sick.
Yep.
It's like Hito Yui in his Wing Gundam about to blow somebody up with his beam rifle.
So
Just
sick.
like I thought that because they were doing Void Lords, I thought we were gonna get the Fallen Angel Void Lord as Wing Gundam Zero from Endless Waltz because he
Yeah.
has those like feathery wings and stuff. And then the very next day, they revealed that Wing Gundam was Heavenly Gate Guardian Clavis,
Yep.
Clavis, however you say that. But the regular Wing Gundam, not Wing Gundam Zero. So, but I'm very happy with this still. The only issue I have with that card, and this is a personal one and curse you Bandai for doing this. Wing Guardian or Heavenly Gate Guardian Clavis. One, the standard card is beautiful. The alt art is beautiful, and now there's a beautiful Gundam collab, and now I want all three.
Yep. Yep, you are chasing, my guy.
Yeah, I want all three versions of this card because it just looks so good.
Yeah.
In all three forms.
Yep.
And it's a good card.
I gotta tell you, I can't wait to see someone put down Gundam Barbados 4th form and for me to just destroy it, because we played that Gundam team shooter Overwatch-like game, and Barbados is pardon my French, a motherfucker. Oh,
yeah, he can go die.
yeah, we gotta play that game again.
That game is fun, by the way. It's Gundam Evolution, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
Maybe?
it's super cool.
Yeah, that game is cool, but yeah, this guy is an asshole in that game.
Yep.
And that's, I actually never watched the anime that Barbados is from, so, or Barbatos, however you say his name.
Oh, right, yeah.
But my only experience with him is from that game, and from that game, I'm just like, oh man, he's so annoying.
Yeah, so sick of him.
Because he just comes up behind you out of nowhere and kills you with a hammer, and you're like, what just happened?
Yep. It's brutal.
Yeah. Unicorn Gundam, I bet the foiling on that's going to look sick.
I can't wait.
Barbados, 4th form. I bet the explosion there in the front's going to look pretty cool with all those like particles and stuff.
Yeah, the foiling pattern is going to be really, really neat. I love this game.
There's the other two that we haven't talked about yet. Exia and Sinanju.
Yes.
I actually don't know where Sinanju is from. I thought at first that it was a... gosh, I can't remember the name of that one now. the big red dude, he's also in that game. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know what you're
It's like,
talking about.
it's like one of Char's mobile suits.
Yeah. I can't
Sazabi.
remember it. Sazabi. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a Sazabi, but it's something slightly. It looks kind of like a Sazabi, but it's something different. And I was looking it up because I was like, "What is this from?" And it's piloted by some. The pilot of this mobile suit is some guy named Full Frontal, which is, I'm guessing, an unfortunate translation.
Yeah. That's very funny.
But he is from the Unicorn series. So,
Cool.
yeah. Which I never watched the Unicorn series. It's unfortunate because my Gundam knowledge is really based on, like, I know a lot about Gundam Wing. I know a lot about the very original series, the 0078, like the RX-78 timeline. And I know quite a bit about, like, 08th MS Team and G Gundam and stuff like that. Like, if it aired on Toonami, I probably know about it.
Yeah.
But the other Gundam series, I'm not as up to snuff on. But
Well, this is just a good excuse to hop on in. I definitely want to check out Unicorn Gundam.
I've heard really good things about that one.
Man. I'm so excited. So this is all coming out at the end of the month. July 28th, baby.
Yeah, I also think I think we've talked about this before. The Gundam collab cards are going to probably be like way too expensive when they first come out. So probably going to have to wait a second to get all of them. But
yeah.
I am buying quite a few boxes cuz I want to pull them. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it'd be really exciting to pull these.
I agree. I'm going to hopefully get a box or two right before Gen Con, and maybe I'll have to trade a little bit, but I'm definitely looking for a Unicorn Gundam, or just, the Eternal Phoenix to put into my green purple deck, and I'm going to try to do that at Gen Con.
Yeah. Maybe the fact that these come in multiple forms will make them a little bit easier to get. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully.
Like, maybe the regular Void Lords will actually not be as expensive because the Gundam version exists.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it's going to fall. And again, we've talked about how, like, the Void Lords are cool, but they're not game breaking. And so I don't think the regular art of them they're going to be, like, crazy expensive. I would be surprised if they were. The Gundam art, for sure. But yeah.
Yeah, the Gundams are definitely the chase in this next set. And we were talking yesterday, because we are going to Gen Con and we're playing in those tournaments there, it's going to be rough. We have play tested the new set quite a lot, and we will continue to do so.
Yeah.
But whether or not we have the physical cards for the tournament is yet to be determined.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be a little hairy. So I'll definitely bring my Fabled Beast as a backup and hope that I can build that green purple. But if not, we got some good stuff.
What day is your tournament? What, like August 2nd, August 3rd?
I think August 1st. I think I'm playing Thursday.
Oh my gosh. And
yeah.
the set comes out the weekend right before that.
Yes. Yep.
It's going to be difficult to get all those pieces.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I hopefully will be able to do it.
We're going to be at Gen Con cracking packs at the Bandai Namco booth.
Like right before the event. Yeah, please. Yeah. I need
just one more.
I need Emerant
Man.
Yeah.
A couple of us went to Emerant Man.
Oh, I love Emerant Man. I can't stop thinking about him.
He's good.
I think good.
You're going to want 4 of him.
I think so. All right. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. The Magic cards. Thank you for sticking with us. We're going to finish this spoiler season out, and then we'll start doing, like, tournament prep stuff, tournament recap stuff. It'll be fun. We're just celebrating the release of Set 2, some collaboration, some organized play. It's a very exciting time to be playing Battle Spirit Saga right now. And part of that is these really cool Magic cards. Eric, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Let me make sure that I'm looking at stuff the same way you are, because you're on the deck builder, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I just sorted by magic set 2.
All right. So we're starting with red first.
Yeah, let's just go down the line.
All right. Let's start off strong with Nexus Hazard.
Whew, look at that full art.
That's beautiful.
That is.
So this card is. I'll read it first, and then I'll let you decide where this card goes. I think you'll know.
Yes.
Nexus Hazard is an 8-cost magic. Hoo boy, is that the most expensive magic we have so far?
I think so, yeah.
But that doesn't matter because it's 6 reduction on that bad boy. And when you use this magic card from your hand, you can count each symbol on your pterosaur spirits. That's right. As 2 symbols when calculating cost reduction. So
wow.
you have 3 pterosaurs on the field. This bad boy costs 2.
Yeah, just like the big boss guy.
Yep. But important to note here that Emperor Beasts do not proc this. So you have
that's
to,
true. That's
you
true.
have to go full on pterosaurs in your build if you're going to play that. Well, you don't have to, but you'll probably want to. And then the actual ability here, main flash. Select one of your opponent's spirits with 3,000 or fewer BP and one of your opponent's nexuses and destroy them. If used during your main step, draw a card. So this is basically one of the best magics in the game, Burning Force, but both effects in one ability plus you draw a card.
Yeah.
I mean, you only kill 1 spirit, you don't kill 2, but still.
Still, yeah. Like, really cool. Like, you can't be freaked out by that cost because... especially in a mono red deck, especially with pterosaurs, like you're gonna be able to pull this thing off and it's gonna look cool and it's gonna do a lot of good stuff for you. This is a really solid magic card, and the flash speed rules.
Oh my gosh, I read it as main flash, but it didn't register till you just said that you can do this at flash speed. So you can just really fuck up somebody's day.
Yeah, but then, yeah, if you do it during the main step, you get to draw a card off of it too. It's just very versatile.
So, do you think, obviously, this goes in pterosaurs?
Yeah.
I don't think you play this as a full play set, though. I think...
No.
Because you draw this turn 1, and it's a dead card.
For a minute, yeah.
Yeah, for a minute. But, so good that I think you want to play at least 2.
Yeah, I think if you have good draw in your deck and can have access to other cards, like if you do draw into 1 or 2 of these early, 2 at the most. 2 at the most. Yeah. Even just a 1 of being able to pull off the Nexus Hazard could flip your game.
I think in some non-pterosaur decks, you might even play this as a 1 of.
Yeah, I think so.
Like if you go wide enough, like... If you go wide enough and maybe a couple of your spirits are pterosaurs or something, like I think you could pull this off.
Yeah. I think so. Man, even the regular art for this is really, really cool.
Yeah. And thematically, I think if you're playing Volcanic Canyon, you could be a little riskier with your build because you could, if you draw into this and you have no way to play it, you just ditch it to the canyon.
Yep. Nexus removal is very important. Especially moving into a second set where we're getting a lot more Nexuses in a brand new color. Like, you really ought to be thinking about how you're going to deal with some of those sticky cards. And Burning Force is good. Nexus Hazard is good. I love to see it.
I've also heard that blue in the 3rd set is going to be pretty heavily reliant on Nexuses.
That makes sense.
This card... I think we'll see play in set 2, but I think in set 3, like, you might play 4 of this.
Yeah, you might. Red aggro with Nexus Hazard to get past blue, for sure.
Yeah, maybe you have some like more 1 and 2 cost little pterosaur dudes, and you can like flood the board and like just blow stuff up.
Yeah, over Raptidon. That's the guy.
That would be a cool new build for pterosaurs. Is like instead of going big pterosaurs, you go like tiny little pterosaurs.
Yeah, I agree.
We call it terrorsaurs.
That's good.
All right, that's trademarked. Nobody else can do that.
Terrorsaurs.
I'm filing for a patent right now.
Yeah, look out for Eric in the top 8 with his Terrorsaur deck.
People are gonna be like, "What's wrong with this guy? Why can't he say terror?" Oh gosh, I can't say it now. Why can't he say pterosaurs? What's wrong with him?
I love
All
it.
right, let's move on to the next one. This one's cool.
All right, this one is cool. It's called Trident Flare. It's a 6-cost red magic card, reduced by 3. Main flash effect, select 3 of your opponent's spirits with 2,000 or fewer BP and destroy them. So, aggro killer, yellow killer, token killer.
Yeah, but we got to see how big tokens are.
Yep. But also this can pair in with other colors, I think. You know, like core removal, bring them down to a lower level and then just wipe them.
Yeah.
But also, again, just, you know, kind of expensive, can be reduced, and can just... It does what it does. It's a neat card. The art is very, very cool. I've been playing Final Fantasy 16.
Have you seen the alt art for this?
Wait, there's alt art for Trident Flare?
It's in one of the store tournament packs or the store champ packs.
No.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah.
It's 3 flame weasels.
No
like spinning around each
way!
other. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! What?
Yeah. Let me. We'll talk.
Is it on the Twitter? Yeah. You bring up the next one. I gotta look for this.
Yeah. It's on the Battle Spirits website, I believe, if you go to like the events page or something. But sorry to derail us there. I know you want to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Oh.
So we can talk about this card while you're looking that up, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
So I don't know if you play this over Burning Force though, because
No.
this kills 3, but it's 1,000 less, so it's just 2K. I think maybe this is a sideboard card, like a really good sideboard card, to where if you are up against tokens or you go up against yellow, you side it in. Or if purple's doing something weird with all their little curse creatures or something, like maybe you do that.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I think it could be decent. But I think it's probably more of a sideboard card.
Yeah, I agree. And it is cool. I think it's good. It's got some great utility. You want to go over this next one then?
Sure. I'm trying to find the weasels.
I am too.
Have you found it?
What
Have you found
event?
it yet?
What event would it be in? Store tournament?
No, because those are going to be like special cards. I think
that's
it's Store Championship Volume 2.
Okay. Oh, there are 5 different cards.
Yes.
Yeah, let me see.
Yep, it is. Yep, Store
Oh.
Champ Volume 2.
Good lord. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, is it in the... Yeah. Hold on.
In the pack you hit more than
Ah!
You must have just seen it.
Look at him! Oh my gosh.
I knew you
They
would love that.
are wonderful. Wow. Okay, cool. That was definitely worth the little treasure hunt there. Wow,
Did you
I
see the
need that.
Look at the Ant Strike back as well, because that one's cool. We haven't talked about that card yet, but that alt art for that's neat.
Ant strike back. Whoa. That's awesome.
For the audio listeners, while you're listening, just go to the Battle Spirits website and go to the Store Champs Volume 2 and look at the alt arts if you want to check out what we're looking at. For the video listeners, you can see Cam freaking out about everything right now. So.
Oh my gosh. That was so exciting.
All right, next card.
Yep.
Lightning Aura. I think that this magic card is quite possibly one of the best of the set.
Yep. We've been talking about this.
3 cost, 2 reduction magic card. It's red. Has a main ability. So during your main step, you can select one of your spirits and give it Confront. And as a reminder here, Confront means that your opponent must block it. It also has a cheeky little flash of give a spirit plus 2,000 BP. So has a magic trick just in case the Confront ends up not being relevant for you. But this card can force your opponent into situations where they don't want to be in. and I think it's very strong. I have been experimenting with a build where you play Brandboar and this.
Yep.
And so you can force them to block the Brandboar, then Brandboar refreshes, and it still has Confront, and so they have to block it every single time.
Yep.
And he just keeps refreshing, and you just wipe out their whole freaking board.
I've been begging for this card to exist. Every time we like would go over a new spirit, I'd be like, is there a way to give other spirits Confront? Because if there is, this is a good one to give it to. And yeah, I think this card gets a lot of play outside of red.
Yeah. I think red probably has enough Confront in it already that maybe this would be a little bit too situational.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think in green you have Brandboar. You have other spirits that do stuff whenever they kill stuff too with the Blade Beasts, I'm pretty sure.
You're going to see this in purple curse decks too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you give this to a Camelot Knight, that sucks.
Yeah, that feels really bad. Like the only thing they have is just a big red creature or like a big white creature, and you go Camelot Knight, Lightning Aura, take him down, take down Barbados.
Yeah.
Oh,
That feels like a Yu-Gi-Oh anime moment.
It straight up does. It's like my Time Wizard's going to destroy your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon somehow.
Yeah, it's like Karibo with a lightning aura around it. And just like kamikazes into the Buster Blader Knight or whatever.
I love it. I love it. This is a cool card. This is like one of, this is one of those that's like gets my deck building wheels spinning.
It's such a simple card too.
It is, but it's beautiful.
I dig it a lot.
It's a really good idea.
I'm gonna be building around that for sure.
For sure. All right, our last red one, Dragon Rush. 5 cost, reduced by 3, red magic. Main phase effect. During this turn, draw a card when one of your Dragonoid spirits destroys an opponent's spirit via comparing BP. So that's pretty cool. Dragonoid support.
Already seeing some combo potential here
exactly.
with the card we just looked at.
Yep. And then Flash, select a spirit. It gains 3,000 BP during this turn. So 3,000 is significant.
Yeah, I think most of those Flash abilities are 2K.
Yeah. So that extra 1K goes a long way. I think this is a really versatile red card. And I wouldn't be past putting this in a non-Dragonoid deck for that Flash effect, honestly. I think there are other cards to fill that slot, but that's a good effect.
Yeah, I think... so I've been playing a Dragonoid deck, and with the new Dragonoid cards, and man, Dragonoids are powerful. That
they
new
really
like
are.
Dragno King or whatever, I mean, man, he's good.
Yeah, we have a gameplay video up on the YouTube of you rolling that deck.
Yeah, it's a good deck. I'm excited to keep experimenting with it, and now I have to decide if this slots in.
Right. I think it does, right?
I think it's definitely at least like a little one of.
Yeah.
I think that, like, what does this card do, right? I think it's one of those cards that makes your opponent have to make some decisions. They're like, I've been chump blocking these Dragonoids, and that's how I've stayed alive. But now if I do it this turn, my opponent gets to draw cards. So I'm going to lose all of my spirits, and they're going to have a ton of cards in their hand. Like, how many of these Dragonoids do I let through to hit my life to stop that from happening?
Right. I love the pressure that this puts on in red, because I feel like purple is the one that makes you sweat the most right now. So getting cards like this, where you're right, it's like it's a decision for your opponent. We talk about that a lot. Like, it's one of those cards, and I think it definitely opens up some really interesting play moments.
That's a really good point to compare this to purple, because this is basically like Dragonoids get Netherworld Depths for a turn.
Yeah. If you turn sideways, pretty much I'm gonna get to draw, because Dragonoids are big.
Oh yeah, I mean the one big dude. I think in our game on YouTube. I think it might be that game. I think I got him up to like 17 or 18K.
Yeah, it was absurd.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah, that's a cool card. And speaking of purple,
This card, I just said this for the confront card, but this card is also maybe one of the best magics.
Yeah, magic. Okay, so if anyone else
Magic
is feeling
goes hard.
underwhelmed by the Nexus like me, the magic
Yeah.
cards are killing it.
The magic cards gave us so much more than I thought we were going to get, and even more than that. Like,
Yeah.
more than I thought, and even further than that.
Yeah.
So Reanimate, 5 cost 3 reduction, purple card. It's a burst, and it resolves on when summoned. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck and return 1 purple spirit card from them to your hand. You may then pay this card's cost to activate its main effect. And then its main effect is select a spirit card in your trash that costs 5 or fewer, summon it without paying its cost. I don't even know that you need to burst this. I think you just pay, well, with the 3 reduction, you just pay 2 and get a little freebie.
Yeah. A 5 cost or less card for 2 from your
2.
discard pile is awesome.
I want to talk about something because I just noticed this as I read it, because I think I've been reading this wrong, but I think I just figured something else out about this. So discard the top 3 cards of your this is for the burst effect. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck and return 1 purple spirit card from them to your hand. So that's out of the 3 that you discard, not out of your whole trash.
Right.
Okay.
But then the main is from your whole trash.
The main is the whole trash.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if you do set this to burst.
I don't think you do, unless like you're playing yellow.
Maybe you've set up the top of your deck a certain way, and then you want to burst this. I don't know.
I think it's good anytime.
Yeah.
Especially in mono purple. But like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's just a good card.
Yeah, I think maybe you just if you know the burst is going to trigger, maybe you just do it anyways just to get more options in your trash.
Yep. But this also works with that purple Nexus where you can like tutor the top card of your deck.
Yeah, that card we were just talking about that yesterday. I think that card's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
In some combo decks.
Reanimate, very cool card. The alt art is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's just a good purple card. I really no notes.
Yeah, I think if you're playing purple, you need to consider how many of these go in your deck.
Yep. I think
you want to play at least 1.
Yeah, I think you can lean heavy into it and run 4, but you have to build around it. But I think you can easily slot this into any purple, and it works really well.
Yeah, I think at 4 you do kind of have to build around it because if
even
you draw
3.
If you draw this early, it's a blank card.
Yep. But damn, that's a cool effect.
Very good.
It's a very cool effect.
Right.
The next one is the Hanged Man, which I really like cards that reference like tarot and the major arcana.
Yeah.
So that's what this is.
I've gotten a little bit of that in Battle Spirits so far, which is neat.
Yeah, I just think it's a cool theme to pull from. It's like when anything like builds around the 7 deadly sins. So like Persona 5, the dungeons were all based on the 7 deadly sins and stuff like that. That's cool. The Hanged Man is a 4-cost purple magic card, can be reduced by 3, and has the main flash ability of select one of your opponent's spirits. If it attacks or blocks during this turn, remove 4 of its cores and place them into your opponent's reserves. That's fun.
Yeah, it's so I'm building a Luster deck with Michaela, and I slotted one of these in.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think, like, it's cheap in a mono purple, but it's also really fun, surprising utility right now in other decks, and in yellow for sure.
I would pay 4 cores to annihilate, like an Infernal Curse Dragon, or, I mean, there's some good targets for 4 core removal.
Yeah, and it slows what it does. It's another one of those like like decision-making cards. It's like, all right, you can attack, you can block, but if you do, you're gonna lose that guy. and that's pretty fun, especially being able to flash this in for like potentially one core when your opponent is about to like try to swing in and destroy you. And like if they're using a deck that's like the refresh or like the confront and refresh, like your brand board deck that you're talking about, if they're relying on that, the Hanged Man comes in and does pretty well. I feel like this might be a sideboard card in purple, but I think in like a yellow luster build that pulls in a bunch of different colored Magic cards, one of, maybe two of, it's a cool card.
Yeah, I think the important thing to note here is that it says select one of your opponent's spirits. If it attacks or blocks during this turn, you get to do this. So if they're already attacking and then you flash this in, it doesn't do anything against that spirit. You'd have to choose a different one.
Right.
So, you got to figure out how to play it. But yeah, you're right. Against like my brand board strategy I was just talking about, where I'm attacking with the same spirit over and over and over again, this just shuts that down.
Yeah. Or if like it's your turn, it's your main phase, they have someone, it beats suppression is what this does.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It takes out suppression.
If they suppress one of their armored spirits, that sucks. But
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, which is gonna happen a lot with Axe Biter.
Yeah. It's just so funny that like we're moving into this world where like suppression is being played out of white, and so purple is also being played out of purple. So there is a scenario where like maybe yellow is playing against red, and the yellow player plays this against a red thing or a green thing that was gonna be suppression buffed and everything. Like it could line up, but yeah, there's a lot of conditions to this card, but I think it is still pretty decent.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It
is fun
card.
It is fun, and the art's really cool. There's just this big demon holding an upside down well, actually that's right side up, the Hanged Man.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty cool.
Pretty neat. All right, next one is Assassinate. It's a 5-cost, 3 reduction magic card. Main effect: your opponent selects one of their exhausted spirits and destroys it. And then as flash for, you can give one of your spirits plus 2k BP at flash.
I'm probably slotting one of these into my green-purple deck.
I was going to say, I don't know that this is super great in purple, but I think in green-purple, this card goes hard.
Yep, because green is going to turn those cards sideways, not even asking. And then Assassinate's going to come in the main phase, and you're free to send those ants right into their face.
I think this card is okay.
Yeah.
I think it would have been very, very playable, like 4 of in every deck if the main effect was at flash speed. But it also might have been busted like that.
Yeah. I kind of wish it was a 4-cost reduced 2 instead of 5-cost reduced 3. Because that is kind of expensive, especially if my main deck is mostly green. But I think a 1-of this card is not out of the realm of possibility to pull off.
No, people aren't going to expect it.
They definitely won't expect it.
The problem with it being main phase speed is that their thing is already tapped out and then you're killing it. So it's not like you're getting rid of a blocker that was going to stop you.
Right.
I think, and also your opponent gets to choose.
True.
So,
but
I don't know.
Maybe they turned it thinking they're going to play suppression. Maybe I'm just really wounded by suppression.
It sounds like you've got some suppression trauma.
Yeah.
Some suppression trauma that you're not really suppressing. You're just letting it all out to the front.
I am.
Just being very forward about it.
I am. Yeah, I'm. Oh, this might be a contender for Champ or Chump. We might come back to this card.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
That is. Man, I just wish it was 4-2. But I get it. Yeah.
Right, next one, if you're ready.
Crystal Crack. So this has Aglavale on it, I believe.
Oh yeah, it is Aglavale.
Yeah, this is that's a really interesting name for a card.
What's happening to him?
It looks like he's getting. Yeah.
Looks like his crystal is cracking.
It looks like there's some crystals in his cracks. It's very interesting. It's a 3-cost purple magic card reduced by 1. Main.
I can't unsee it.
He's exploding from the inside out. Oh man.
Oh man.
Poor Aglavale. The main effect is discard the top 2 cards of your deck, then draw a card. Boom. That's good.
Yeah. This is that strategy we were talking about earlier, where you play 4 reanimates. This is another card you're playing in there.
Yep. And suddenly, especially with blue on the horizon, like the main deck being from 50 to 60 makes a lot more sense. If you're running purple and you're, part of your objective in that deck building is to self-mill, you're going to want to slot in up to 60 cards because you're going to be discarding. And if you're running Netherworld Depths, you're going to be drawing cards anyway. You don't want to accidentally run out of cards. So I think that 50 to 60 range now makes a lot more sense in certain colors. And this is one of those, because that's a total of 3 cards leaving the top of your deck on one turn. And that can get dangerous really fast, especially if you're running multiple copies of this. The flash effect also, select a spirit, it gains 2000 BP during the turn. So it's one of those.
So I've been messing around with this, and my build, I'm running a 60 card purple deck.
There you go. See, I think that makes sense.
Because I think that's you can do this with 60 cards.
Yes, because you want to see more cards, but you don't want to run out of them. So yeah, I think putting 60 in isn't going to slow you down and prevent you from seeing the cards that you want to see. I really don't think so. So yeah, but this is just a good card. Main phase draw, unconditional. Well, conditional in the fact that you have to discard 2 cards first, but really unconditional with how much recursion is coming in set 2 for purple. Crystal Crack rules.
Yeah, I think this is a good card.
How many do you run? I would run 3.
I think I would run maybe just 1 or 2 if it's not really leaning into the mill myself. But if I'm milling myself, I think 3 or 4.
Cool. Yeah. It's like one of those cards. It's like Reanimate. You can build around Reanimate and Crystal Crack, and you could run 3 to 4 of each. And I think they work really well together, and they're both relatively cheap together. And you can see a lot more cards, and that's always good in a card game, right? Yeah. So I think Crystal Crack sees a lot of play, and yeah, it's neat. I don't know how good it would be outside of purple, because you would need all those pieces, and then you're leaning a little more into purple heavy. But even as a one of, just being able to see a couple of cards might be good. Yeah. But man, if you discard your combo pieces out of color, though, that would suck.
Yeah, you got to be careful with this card.
Yep. All of your Crystal Crack in moderation. Crystal Crack.
On to the white cards.
Yeah.
This one is Reboot Code. Has a really cool alt art with Gregormir.
Yeah.
Gregory. Has Gregory on the front.
Gregory!
Gregory? He's a dog that is rebooting his code.
Sure is.
He's plugged into the Matrix.
This is very, very Horizon Zero Dawn kind of art.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Big fan.
All right. So 7 cost 4 reduction. Big white magic. Big. All of your spirits gain the following effect. This is burst when your opponent destroys a spirit. When the spirit blocks, the spirit gains 2000 BP during this battle. You may then pay this card's cost to activate its flash effect. And the flash effect is select up to 3 of your spirits and refresh them. During this turn, your spirits without when the spirit blocks effects cannot attack. So, this is another kind of suppression-like card.
Yep.
But instead of leaning into one spirit, you're giving it to all of your blocking spirits.
Yes. This one, I don't know if I'm smart enough to play white. So I understand the flash can be used during your own attack step to refresh, and you'd have to be running when the spirit blocks cards, which of course you can. It's just, I don't know how I feel about this one.
Well, so the flash effect, I think, if you're not doing when the spirit blocks cards, then you're just making regular spirits that don't have the ability able to block, and they get plus 2k.
Right.
But if you did the burst, but you're right. I think if you're running a when the spirit blocks deck, which is a thing,
Yeah.
then now you get to attack again with it's like a hypercharged regain for that style of deck. So it's kind of cool how versatile it is, but it's so expensive. I don't know.
That's my thing.
I don't know if you're doing this. I don't know.
It's expensive.
There's also some cards coming up that do a similar thing that are cheaper and way better.
And I think my problem with it is the caveat of the burst being when your opponent destroys your spirit. That takes away a reduction symbol.
So this gets even more expensive in that case.
Technically, yeah. Unless you're just like flooded with white, which you can be, but like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I think if you're on your back foot, you'd rather see a suppression than see this.
Or an absolute ice shield even in your burst slot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, this takes up a burst slot where you could have had an ice shield.
Yeah, maybe this is better after some rotation, but I'm not like super sold on this. Like, this is the big high cost white magic, you know? Like, we've seen Reanimate, we've seen Nexus explode or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nexus Exploder.
I don't know. Nexus Hazard, that's the name.
Maybe this sees play in the when the spirit blocks deck though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to mess around with this one.
All right. Next one up.
The next one is Iceberg. Cool. It's a 3-cost white magic card reduced by 2. Its main effect says, select one of your spirits. It gains armor red, purple, and green during this turn. So that's good. We need some green armor. The only problem is that's the main effect. And I feel like a lot of green's tricks happen on your opponent's turn. But you can flash in Swift green creatures, and maybe they have abilities. So maybe Iceberg. I don't know. What am I missing something? What do you think about this card?
I don't think so. It only does it to one spirit, and I think it's highly situational, maybe like a sideboard card, but I mean, I don't even know if you have room in your sideboard for this, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, like
not super excited about that one.
I guess like if you only have
I would love for somebody to play this and do something cool so that I shut up about it. But.
Yeah. I think maybe like if you're facing off against purple and they have some cores in their reserve or are able to flash in some scary purple removal during your turn and then follow it up. This might be like if you have like one big thing, you're like, all right, Iceberg on this. You can't purple it. Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so situational.
Yeah, I don't think that I would run this in my main deck.
White is letting me down.
Well, the next card's pretty sick though. Infinity Shield.
Oh shit.
4 cost 2 reduction, flash, select one of your Machine Beast or Mecha spirits. That spirit can block while exhausted during this turn.
Good God.
So it's a cheaper suppression. It does not give you the 3k boost, but for the Soul Core. But without having to use the Soul Core, you can continuously block.
Yeah, that's pretty good for the big, like, 8 cost reduced by 6 textless mecha.
Yeah, or you just put this on your elephant.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, like that. This is a cool card. I like Infinity Shield. It's situational-ish, just by the traits that you're running, but like pretty much everything that you would want to use this on is a Machine Beast or mecha. So I think that's a good card. I like it, and at flash speed, that rules.
Yeah. If you're playing Machine Beast or Mecha, then I think you are probably running Suppression, but I think you can run this as well.
Yeah, and if Suppression rotates out, Infinity Shield, pretty decent backup there.
Yeah, I also think that with all of the exhaustion coming from green, this is nice.
Yeah, this rules, and I think this is a staple in set 2 white.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it. Inescapable Avalanche. Oh, it's the little raccoon guy.
Oh no.
This is sad. This
It's
is
inescapable, so we know his fate.
Yeah, we know that. He's Mufasa, and the Avalanche is the wildebeest.
Oh no.
Sorry to bring up everybody's childhood trauma. This is a 4-cost white magic that can be reduced by 2. It's a flash card again, like the last one. Flash, return one of your opponent's attacking spirits to their hand. Great bounce. As if bounce needed a little more support from the first set in the starter decks, but like that's a great card, and you don't even have to telegraph it at all. It's not burst, it's just flash. There you go, back into your hand. That's a great card.
Rotation talk. I think it's very interesting that we got these because one is basically slightly less powerful suppression, and the other one's like slightly less powerful dream bomb.
Yep.
So, having both of them in the same, like being able to play them both, seems pretty damn good. But
yeah.
On rotation now, these become the main replacements.
This card is going to be so annoying. This card kind of changes the way that the game is played a little bit. Like, bounce is powerful. Bounce is really, really powerful because you're getting a card back into your hand, cores into your reserve that you can't do anything about because it's during your attack. And so if you get that stuff bounced, like, damn, you're just wide open. You got to be really careful when playing white, like even more so. That's a good spell.
There's so many cards that trigger off of bounce as well.
Yeah. That like ramp, good ramp. You know, the counter to this is green. You got to swift in some stuff. But if you don't, Inescapable Avalanche is going to be I think a big card in the white world or outside of white. That's not bad for your Luster deck either.
I am running one of these in my Luster deck that I'm building. I'm running like one-ofs of all of these until I figure out which ones are the best ones.
Yeah, that's really fun. Gosh, we got to play test again.
Yeah. How are you doing on time? Can we go into the next one?
Yeah. Let's do it. We've got 8 cards left? 4 yellow, 4 green.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll try
five green. Actually.
5 green. Okay. Yeah, we'll try to go a little faster, but this works.
Cool.
This card is so cool looking.
The 3 cards. So now we're on to yellow. 5 costs 3 reduction. It's a burst magic. When it triggers on one summoned, during this turn, all of your spirits gain other lander spirit type. You may then pay this card's cost to activate its main effect. And the main effect is if you have 3 or more other lander spirits, all of your opponent's nexuses lose their effects and cannot regain them during this turn.
Whoa.
I don't really know that the effect on this for the cost is really that powerful, but because there's like nexus removal, and I feel like it's better to just remove the nexus. But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is actually really good. Maybe the first ability where everything becomes Otherlander is actually more relevant because there's so many cards that reference Otherlanders in the new set that I don't know that I've looked at them enough to understand how good this card is.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact effect, but I know there is a creature that's like all of your other lander cards get some kind of really cool thing. I love the art on the alt art of this. I love that like poker and like gambling is so involved in like some of the yellow stuff. The first thing I thought of when I looked at this was the main effect. Because I'm that sick fuck that plays 4 Alices. And if you have 3 Alices, first of all, they basically can't die. But then you can also, if you have 3 Alices, you play this and you turn off your opponent's nexuses. That's kind of fun. But also that's like super situational. It's, I think you kind of have to build around this deck unless like, the things we're not remembering about the other lander spirits really help here. But even then, that burst effect happens when your opponent resolves a when summoned. So, turning off nexuses, like you said, it's just better to blow them up, and there's good nexus removal. I'm interested to see other players figure something out for this card that I'm missing.
Maybe some sort of weird Otherlander Derm Dyna deck where you don't want to blow up the nexuses, but you do want to shut them off.
Whoa.
I don't know. That feels a little janky, but
Yeah, but like I don't know, maybe like no one would expect it. That's kind of a fun idea. Derm Dyna, Otherlander, yellow. Yeah. Yeah.
The next card here, Somersault, 6 cost, 3 reduction. Has a main effect. Your yellow spirits cannot be blocked by your opponent's level 2 spirits during this turn. So that's interesting. And then Flash, you can give a spirit 2 KBP.
That's so specific. But
yeah,
there's probably a card that... No. I don't know. This is weird.
I think this card's playable. I don't know how yet, but I think it's playable.
Yeah.
There's a deck for this. The art reminds me of Dragon Ball Z.
I was going to say the same thing. It's really interesting.
He looks like one of like Ginyu's minions or something, or maybe like a baby form of Cell or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna somersault.
Yeah. Dodge. Yeah. It's very fabulous.
And he has some surprising ability where he can annihilate worlds with his fingertips.
Yep. Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
goofy.
I think this card's playable. I just don't really know where.
Yeah, and it's another one of those Flash select a spirit against 2,000. Really expensive to just have that little conditional ability tacked on.
Could you imagine paying 6 to do that?
If you're really desperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really funny.
I don't know when you would do that. But.
The next one is Magic Mirror. 4 cost, yellow magic, reduced by 2. So I love these 4/2 Flash cards. The 2 white ones that we talked about were really great. Let's see what this one does. Flash speed. The next time your opponent would select a spirit or nexus while using a magic card during this turn, you select it instead.
So my mind immediately goes to Deadly Balance. But
yeah. So how does the stack work? Like if someone plays Deadly Balance,
there's no response. So you have to play this.
Oh, that's
first.
right. Yeah. And it's flash speed. So it's really during the attack step.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think this one's that good.
Maybe it's like...
It's definitely matchup specific. Maybe this is a sideboard card.
It's like anti-luster.
It is anti-luster.
But in yellow?
It's true. Right, yeah. It's strange.
It's weird.
Maybe it's for the mirror match. I don't know.
Maybe this is a card that the costing on it makes it playable.
Yes, for sure.
If you have a reason to play it. Like, maybe some deck rises in the meta and we're like, oh, Magic Mirror.
Yeah. My thing with this and Holy Cards, though, is like, I don't want to take up a slot for a what if.
Yeah, I don't think you play this right out of the gate. I think you wait and see how the meta goes, and then if there's some deck that does this kind of stuff, you just like flash this in as soon as possible to shut it down.
Yeah, I agree.
And then even in that case, this might be a sideboard if that deck is high in the meta. I don't know.
Yeah.
But wait a minute.
What's up?
The next time your opponent would select a spirit or nexus while using a magic card during this turn, you select it instead. Does that mean the opponent has to play the magic card? Can I play this and then play my Deadly Balance and then pick for them?
The next time your opponent... It makes it sound like while your opponent is using a magic card.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I was like, maybe that's... I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if that works.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it and then make somebody call a judge over.
Judge. Judge, this guy's being a prick.
He's just making up rules.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right. Next card, Lightning Arrow. It's my turn to read, right?
Yep.
4 cost, 2 reduction, yellow, magic. I love that costing. That's such
I do
a playable
too.
costing.
I agree. In or out of color.
Yeah, it's like this is highly playable cost in yellow. Outside of yellow, you might still play this if you have a reason to.
Yep.
Flash, select one of your opponent's spirits. It cannot attack or block during this turn.
Solid.
I'm playing this in my Luster build because my Luster build is, the whole idea is to basically exhaust or make spirits not able to block and get damage through with Dr. Duck.
Yep.
So
I like it a lot. Dr. Duck.
Dr. Duck. I think in Luster, I think highly playable. Outside of Luster, I think still pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a pretty solid card. Art's fun. It's more of the harpies, more of the bird folk.
Yeah,
And that's kind of their whole thing too.
It shuts down that brand board strategy as well. So if that becomes
Sure
really
does.
popular, you can shut this down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cool card. And again, I love that you don't have to telegraph it. It's not burst, you know? You could just drop this out of your hand and ruin someone's strategy.
Totally.
This is also good in blessed decks. Because if it's like kind of early game, or if like the board's kind of low, you can just be like, I'm gonna attack with this guy, and then the guy that you didn't just block with can't block my blessed guy who's about to attack, and that's pretty fun.
Nice. Or if you have the dual eagle and like most of their spirits are level 1, but they have one that's not, you can like specifically choose that one.
Yep, it's nice that you get to choose this one.
Yeah, I think this card's pretty good.
Yeah, and it also shuts down an attack on your opponent's turn if you need to, like if you've taken a couple of hits.
That's the other thing. It's versatile. It's offensive or defensive, depending on what you need.
Yeah, I like Lightning Arrow a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're into green now. We've got a few more cards left. We'll wrap this up. But this is the Ants Strike Back. So we looked at the alt art earlier. The regular art for it is just as cool, I think.
I love how the flying ant is like, yes, my minions, yes.
Yes. Dude, I love it. It's
Kill them.
Actually terrifying, and I hate it. Like, I have dreams. Do you ever have dreams where, like, ants are crawling all over you?
I can't say that I have. That sounds really fucked up. I'm sorry.
It's like a recurring dream of mine. Like, I don't know what it means. I need to look it up. But
I better not have that dream tonight because of this.
Yeah, it's awful. And then you wake up and you're just like, where are they? Yeah, I don't sleep well. Anyway, for the Ants Strike Back, this is the most unhinged episode yet. The Ants Strike Back.
I say that every episode.
I know, it's only getting worse. 4 cost, reduce by 3. I love my green. Ants Strike Back. So this is a magic card, burst. When opponent destroys your spirit, that's the burst condition, activate this card's main effect without paying its cost. But it also has the main effect. Summon 2 of your Ant-Man tokens exhausted. So that's fun.
That's thematically really cool. I think what you do is if you already have ant tokens, you use them to chump block, and then you're like, aha, more ants.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a token machine, and I love that. I think I don't know if I'm putting this in my deck because I'm not leaning into the token aspect of it as heavily, but I might slot one, actually. I don't know. It's a fun burst chump to be like, what is it? And then you're right, like on your turn, or your opponent's, when you're chump blocking, you're like, haha, now I have 2 more chump blockers for next turn, or 2 more attackers. Like, that's pretty cool. The Ant Strike Back, thematically beautiful, mechanically fantastic, especially in green. I love it. Big fan.
I think if you're flooding the board with ant tokens, this slots in very nicely.
Yeah, it's so cheap.
Yeah.
Because those ant tokens give you reduction. Like, there's no way you're spending the full 4 for this.
Yeah. Plus with Queen Ant Train, if those ants are dying, doesn't she like exhaust stuff?
Yeah. So, and honestly, not a bad turn 1 play either.
That's true. Yeah.
4 cost, 2 bodies.
Yeah. Do you have the cores then to put them on the tokens though?
Nope. Good point.
Maybe like turn 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be decent.
Yeah.
Early game for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Thorn Prison. The art on this is cool, but we also have a Gundam alt art of this that I believe is the box topper. So.
Yes. I was gonna say, I'm like, that sounds so familiar, and that would be why.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a RX-78, just like shooting his beam rifle up in the air. Pretty cool.
Love shooting my beam rifle in the air. All right, sorry.
Well, be careful. You're going to go to Thorn Prison if you do that.
Thorny jail.
Thorny jail. Bonk. 4 cost, 2 reduction, green magic, main flash. Your opponent selects 2 of the refresh spirits, exhaust them. So your opponent selects, but it's 2 spirits. So I mean, is this better than the green exhaust magic we got from the starter deck where you pick one?
Yes.
Okay. Just straight up, yep.
I'm chef's kissing. I'm
Yeah.
giving so many chef's kisses to this card. I love it.
Yeah. This is also going in that luster build as of right now because you can exhaust.
This is going in my green deck for sure. Oh my gosh. No notes. That card's awesome.
Good card.
I
All right, we can talk about the
love
next
it.
one then.
Carry core. 5 cost, reduced by 2. Flash. Place 1 core from the void onto each of your spirits with no effects listed.
Yeah, this is a good one for your Spring of Norn deck.
Holy shit. Are you kidding me? That's
The
awesome.
the tokens have no effects listed, right?
Correct. So that's the obvious choice, right?
Yeah.
But man,
but also Spring of Norn.
huge ramp for tokens though. Like, holy hell. You flood the board with like even 3 tokens. You're getting 3 extra cores from the void. That's
big.
nuts. That's huge ramp. Green is so cool. I'm losing my mind.
I dig it. I definitely want to play around with this. It is expensive.
It is.
Um,
But it pays for itself at a certain point.
yeah, I think it's worth it to do.
Also, flashing this in on your opponent's turn sets you up for a huge turn.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was flash. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Wait,
Yeah.
so what if you if you have all those tokens, you flash this in, you like chump block with stuff, and then you like use all the tokens from your reserve to play some other magic or to like swift in more spirits.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. There's so much combo potential with this card. This card has the potential to be very, very busted.
yeah, I'm excited for that one. Someone's gonna build
too.
something cool with it. It might be one of us.
It might
Probably
be me.
Probably be you. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, wow. Great art on this one.
Stamina recovery, 3 cost, 2 reduction, another burst. I think green needs to catch up to the other colors with having burst. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what's going on.
Yep.
When opponent resolves a spirit's when summoned effect, that's the burst trigger. Select up to 3 of your green spirits, place a core from the void onto each of them. May then pay this card's cost to activate its flash effect. Main flash, select a spirit, it gains 2,000 BP. So that second effect is kind of like but the first effect, you are doing this to ramp yet again.
And that one is just 3 of your green spirits, no other conditions. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's so cool. Because again, Swift. I think I won't run stamina in my exhaust deck, but this is a really cool card for Swift decks, especially, I think.
I'm always weary of when summoned triggers on bursts.
Me
because
too. I've
sometimes they
been burned
just-
by Star Blessed Draw too many times.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
one of those you got to know your matchups. This is a good sideboard card too.
Yeah, because I don't know, 3 cost 2 reduction to give something 2k BP is not awful, but I'd much rather have literally anything else.
Yeah, I'd much rather have its burst effect.
Yeah.
So, but it is
Alright.
cool.
Last green card. You want to finish us off?
Yep, this is Insect Aura. 4 cost magic, reduced by 3, main and flash. Select a spirit. During this turn, it gains 1,000 BP for each Carapace or Insectoid you control. It's pretty good.
So basically you swing in with a little 1k ant, they block, and then you surprise them with this.
Yeah, suddenly he's Gilgamesh, and he's destroying you completely.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, it's a cool card, and my green-purple deck that I keep bringing up, is just Carapaces and Insectoids. But even then, like, I don't know if I'd slot a lot of these in here.
Yeah.
It's a neat little parlor trick, and it can definitely get up and over some big guys unexpectedly. But, well, actually, now I'm kind of talking myself into it. I don't know. What do you think?
I think if you're going the token route with the insect tokens, I think this is a pretty cool card to
Yeah.
slot in. I still don't think I'd play 4 of it. I'd play like a couple or maybe 1.
Yeah, it's definitely better in the token deck for sure.
Yeah, I think if you play it as a one of, it's a fun little trick that your opponent won't see coming.
I agree.
Especially if the way that you play that deck is swinging in with your little tokens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. This is, I'm probably going to build a token deck also now because there's some really good token support. And I like tribal decks. We've talked about this. And in that deck, definitely slotting in the Insect Aura to turn any ant into a giant.
Giant. Oh, man. Hey, do we have time for Champ or Chump?
Yeah, let's do Champ or Chump real quick, and then we'll head on out. I already know what I'm going to give you for Champ or Chump.
All right, go for it then.
Reboot code.
Wait. We got to do the thing.
Oh.
Cam, what time is it?
Champ or Chump.
Did you play an effect?
I sure did.
Okay, sweet. I never hear it, so I never know.
Yeah.
Right, Champ or Chump reboot code on me. That's interesting because that's the one I was going to pick for you, so I got to think of something else.
Well,
but...
that's perfect.
Should we both do Champ or Chump on this one card?
Let's both do it.
All right, let's talk this out. So 7 cost 4 reduction. So in white, it's a white. I'll read it first. So 7 cost 4 reduction, white magic card. Burst when your opponent destroys your spirit. All of your white spirits gain the following effect. When the spirit blocks, this spirit gains 2,000 BP during this battle. You can then pay the cost to play the flash effect. Select up to 3 of your spirits and refresh them. During this turn, your spirits when this spirit blocks effects cannot attack. So, basically what this says is if your opponent destroys something, you can then give the rest of your white spirits 2k BP. And then the flash effect says you can refresh a bunch of spirits to block with. But if you're doing this to attack with them, they can't attack unless they have when the spirit blocks effects. So, here's the thing about this card. So, the second effect is not restricted to white, but it kind of is because when the spirit blocks, I think mostly shows up in white, if not entirely. I can't think of other.
I think Brandbor technically has when the spirit attacks or blocks. So
okay,
does that count?
I believe so.
Okay, I might be overthinking that.
I think it does, but
I feel like it would.
Yeah, if someone without a judge being there, if someone was like, "Does this work?" I would be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, but, same.
Don't trust us for this though.
Yeah, that's fair.
The first ability gives them when the spirit blocks. The spirit gains 2,000 BP during this battle. It gives them that. It gives them a when the spirit blocks ability.
For the turn. Yeah, that's true.
So...
that changes things a little bit for me.
Well, but then it triggers when your opponent destroys your spirit. So in order for them to attack with that, they would have to have killed a spirit during your turn.
Right.
I don't know. This card is like a mind fuck.
It is. It's really weird.
I think my initial assessment of this card is Champ or Chump. I think I'm going to go Chump. I think it seems like weirdly situational, but I can't even really think of the proper situation.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like you're not playing this outside of white.
I agree.
Maybe you're doing some luster shenanigans with it for free with Michaela, but that's even further specificity. And also the white spirits thing for the first ability, you're playing this in white pretty much exclusively, and I just think it's too expensive. I'd rather just have a suppression.
I agree. I think it's too expensive, it's too situational, and it's a little too wacky for my taste. I'm going to go with Chump.
Bom, bom, bom. Yeah, I'd rather have... I know it kind of does both of attack and block, but I'd rather have a suppression or a regain.
Yeah, and those are cheaper.
They're cheaper, they're in white, they do kind of the same thing. Or even that Infinity Shield, that new card.
Yeah,
I'd
easily.
rather have that.
And you don't have to telegraph it, again. But also, if you put this in your burst, who's going to expect that it's this? I don't know, maybe that's the novelty. Maybe it's just for the memes. I don't know. But
the alt art's cool though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's good yet. I don't think it's horrible, but I don't think it's good yet.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about champ or chump is like you have to make a definitive decision one way or the other, and I think this leans more into chump than champ. So
I agree.
We could be totally wrong. Maybe this ends up being like a meta-defining card, and like white is playing 4 of this.
Yeah.
And we just look like idiots. I don't know, but
yeah,
that's my assessment.
Let us know what you think. Either in the Spotify poll that'll come up after this episode is airing, in the YouTube comments, or you can email us at absolutebsspod@gmail.com, absolutebsspod on Twitter, and we'll probably make a threads for it, if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah.
Do we have to make an Instagram to do that?
Oh yeah, I guess we would.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you do it. I'll let you mess around with that.
I'll figure it out. If there's a threads demand, we'll meet it. Whatever. But yeah, I gotta get going. So we're gonna hit this outro real quick. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Absolute BSS. Again, apologies for not uploading the last episode on time, but you got 2, so hopefully you enjoyed them both. We'll get back to releasing them in a timely manner. But connect with us after the show, during the show. I don't care. Send us some messages on the places I mentioned. Once again, it's Absolute BSS Pod everywhere. So that's Twitter, Gmail, YouTube. We would love to talk with you and hear your thoughts about Set 2. We're really, really excited for Set 2. And yeah, let's get together, do some deck crafting, some theory building, and we've got more gameplay videos on the way and more episodes of Absolute BSS. Will be released. Eric, how about you? Anything else you want to say?
I would like to hear somebody tell us about their ideas for reboot code, if they have a cool idea for it that maybe we're not seeing. So.
Yeah, convince us if reboot code is your champ. Tell us why. I would love to hear it. I'm not going to be like, no, you're wrong.
Your answer, even though the alt art's really cool, your answer can't be that the alt art's really cool, and that's
yeah,
why.
I agree.
I agree that it is cool, but I don't know that it makes the card more playable. But
yep. All right. Well, thank you all for listening to another Casualpetitive episode of Absolute BSS, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
See you, everybody. Bye.